we create our reality through our thoughts, feelings, and environment. There are three things. This is going to be the foundational concept for us to understand our thoughts, feelings, and environment. Our environment is, for example, if you come to a Pyramid Valley kind of place, this is an environment. And if you stay here for 6 days, you will go back with a definition of what nature can be. Next time when you are setting up anything, you'll think Pyramid Valley. When you're setting up a big campus, you'll think Pyramid Valley and say, okay, that tree is there, these gardens are there, this landscape is there. So it sort of influences. When you are here with an environment like a Pyramid Valley, it influences our future decisions, because environment is always constantly giving us a lot of trigger, because environment is experienced deeply by us. So environment is there, and the thoughts and feelings are always are the same principles. Now there is a concept of placebo effect. How many people understand this placebo effect? How many people know what placebo is? Okay. So placebo is in medical terms, a pill is like a fake tablet. In medical industry, when they make tablets, they always make a real tablet and a fake tablet. And they take people, let's say they are making a tablet for sugar. So they take 100 people. They means here the medical company, right? The pharmaceutical company. They take 100 people. 30 people who are sugar patients, they don't get anything. 30 people who are sugar patients who will get this fake tablet. 30 people sugar patients who will get this real tablet that the pharmaceutical company wants to release it into the market. Right? So 33 groups they divided. So they'll measure it after say 90 days, because whatever that manufacturer is saying, in 90 days you'll see a lot of benefit, suppose. That's what they want to give. So they say in 90 days there'll be 50% improvement for you and so and so. Right? For that, they divide and then they give to one group no tablet. So at the end of 90 days, the sugar level would have further picked up because they didn't have any medicine at all. For 30 people, they're given fake tablet. And they're telling, doctor tells them, hey, this is the new, latest, greatest medication. It's coming up for diabetes. It'll give you a lot of relief. You take it, it's going to work. So the doctor tells and then gives a fake tablet. The fake tablet is what? Perhaps just on a piece of sugar. Nothing. Just that, right? And for another 30 is actually giving the real tablet and say, this is a great medication that's coming up, it's going to help you. So what they say is same for the fake tablet and the real tablet. So in both the cases, what they notice is that those who are taking the fake tablet also always have a significant benefit. They believe that it is true, and so they take it with some trust and belief that it works, that the sugar actually comes down. Same way, those group of people who are taking the real tablet, for that the sugar is coming down anyway, and for the people who are taking fake tablet also the sugar comes down. It is called the placebo effect. Now, what the authorities have done is that they're saying, how do you know that this tablet is really effective? So they are saying that whatever the fake tablet gives some effect, the real tablet must give at least that much effect. Then that tablet will consider as if it is a good tablet is working. So that's how the medical authorities are approving drugs. So they take a fake tablet result, they take a real tablet result, and they say, is a real tablet giving as much as a fake tablet or not? And if so, then they'll take it. Typically, it should be at least that much. So this concept of placebo, that means you believe that something works and then so it works, is always there in medical industry, using which they're producing real medicine. It is just that they forget about it completely, and so in the profession they don't talk about it, they only talk about medication. Instead, if only they say that, hey, it works and then you give that, then people could easily solve many challenges without actual medication. It is called a placebo. There are thoughts, what we think and believe is what is happening for us, is fundamentally at work with all the meditators always. Because Scientifically also it is true, which we'll learn. Scientifically also, when we think something is true, that signal, that message, that electromagnetic energy is going in and then affecting our body cells, so that our body cells upregulate new genes, new protein, and automatically then we are creating that new health experience based simply on a thought that we strongly believe in without any doubt and uncertainty. Without any doubt. So let's look at some of these research that has happened. So Harvard research, a group of senior citizens are placed in a place like Pyramid Valley for 1 week. Senior citizens, aged between 40 to 60 years, they are placed in a place like Pyramid Valley. Right? It's a resort. They put in a resort. And the resort, they had created an environment which is 20 years older. The environment is 20 years younger to them. That means this research was done in 1995. So they set up the resort as if it is 1975 setting. In 1975, you had a different clothes, right? You had these bell bottoms. You didn't have the tight jeans, right? You had bell bottoms. Then the food choice was different, right? Different kinds of vegetables, different preparation, different kinds of music. The music was different. All those things were set up in the resort as if it is resembling a 1975 place. And so they were asked to stay for a week. And in 1 week they stayed. They're told two groups. One group they said, I'm young by 20 years, and then stay there. Another group they said, you just go and stay there. That's it. Don't do anything. Just go and stay there. But another group they said, hey, every time you are here, you think for yourself, I'm young by 20 years. I'm young. Right? The environment is supporting, right? Because environment is always anyway 1975 setting, so it supports that easily. I'm young by 20 years. And see the results. Those who said, I'm young by 20 years became 63% younger. What does it mean? They became younger means they grew tall. You know, senior citizens, when sometimes you are drooping down, right? Because you've been told that, okay, our age is coming up, catching up, so normally we stand straight. A lot of times we start drooping down, right? But now we stand straight. They're straight, so their height has increased. They're playing tennis very beautifully, as if they're 20 years younger, how they were playing. They're running. They're eating more. They're not hesitating to dance. It's no longer that no, it is over. They're not hesitating to dance, and they're not hesitating to stay through into the night. Slowly say, okay, now I have to have body sleep. It is not otherwise good for the health. My body health doesn't support it. All these kind of things we slowly give up, right? Our experience is peaking when we're in 40s. Our youthful experience are peaking when you're in 40s, and afterwards slowly it goes into okay, now I have to settle in life and I have to take care of people and this and that, family, more responsibility. Our experience are slowly going down, and all of that they got back again. So those who thought they're younger, 63% became younger. Those who just did not have anything but just went there and stayed, 44% of them exhibited this, eating more food. Instead of one chapati, because by the time 60 we say, okay, I have to eat less, but they're still eating 4 chapatis or 5 chapatis a night, like whatever that is, right? So dear friends, this is a placebo effect of environment. That just by staying and then listening to the videos, what's happening is the old memories are pulling back, and so as a result, they're reliving themselves and then they're sending the signal to say, wow, this is good. This is their old life has come back to them. The memory comes back, the memory is feeding in new additional signals, so the body starts becoming younger. That's what has happened. All right. Just with a week of it. That's what Rakesh was saying, that we're going to be here for a week. If we can stay away from our gadgets, away from everything that we have, and then completely surrender ourselves with this new environment that we are in, with new knowledge, it has to make a difference. Right, friends? So that's the effect of this. Second one, chicks experiment. I want to show this experiment, which I'm going to get here very shortly. Small chickens are able to change the direction of a robot. Fresh newborn chickens change the direction of a robot just because they think that robot is a mother. We'll see that shortly. World War II saline injection. This is an important experiment they were done. Again, determining the placebo effect. How many of you know about this story? All right. So those are kind of programs, I'm sure you know. So the World War II experiment, this intelligent nurse knew about placebo effect. And many soldiers were wounded and a lot of bullets, and they need to be operated. So they're coming to the hospital, and then the hospital suddenly ran out of anesthesia. So they didn't have adequate of that. And so she needed to give, but then she didn't have what to do. And World War II is the technology, the transport industry is not that superior then, right? So it takes time. But the people are coming by the dozens. So she intelligently took saline injection, saline water, and then started giving that as the anesthesia to the patients without telling them. And she didn't tell the doctor also, because the doctor, if they know the doctor is not strong in the mind, the doctor will suddenly think, oh man, something is going to happen to her. So she didn't tell the doctor. So the doctor also believed that they all got anesthesia. So he operated, patients also got operated. And then they were able to go through it. Many people got saved like that, just with the placebo effect of this thing, right? What more one can say, placebo effect we also see in India, right? Here, in Kerala and other places, when people are walking on the fire, right? Many people walk on the fire. There is a deep belief sets into us that it's not good. The belief that says that it is sacred fire, and then you surrender completely, and that is sacred fire not going to harm you at all. That's how they walk on that. Once you have a belief that is sacred fire, and then somebody else at that point is taken to protecting you, that belief is also there. So you walk so many, 20 feet they walk, and then they come out unscathed. Those who are fearful, have slightest doubt, would have burned their toes pretty drastically, right? So that happens. Snake charmers, people who catch snakes and who take in, they have that belief that it's not going to harm them because it's already digested to them from their childhood. The parents, they would have seen the parents, and then the snake would bite, and then the father would still be okay. So the child also, as they grow up, while catching snake, and keep biting them, but then they have such a strong belief that the body is not going to be getting harmed, and so they don't get harmed. It is the same snake, and it bites us, then we will have poison going in. Oh my God, poison has gone in, so we succumb to it. But this is a placebo effect working in many, many places, dear friends. That's really how the snake charmers, we see, even though they get so many bites, that are able to continually stay, is because the placebo effect is there for them. The point is, placebo effect is working everywhere, positively or negatively. So Cambodia had a aristocratic model. So there is a lot of suppression happened in Cambodia a few years ago in 1970s. So the dictator, where they were going after power, right? Obviously, wherever the suppressions are there, dictatorship is there. So they were brutally killing people, families and families. Sometimes we see it in some places, right? In India also right now. And they were torturing females. Women, they would rape women, their younger children in front of the family, in front of husbands, right? They would remove the eyes of the torturing. They did that. Removing the eyes of the people because the male members were rebels against that the dynasty, right? So they were this atrocity. They were suppressing the dictatorship. So when they're suppressing, so they did all kinds of challenges to the male, and the women members got deeply affected. Cambodian women got deeply affected. So subsequently, they were some of these women got asylum to America, so where they're living in Los Angeles. They did a research on them, Cambodian women. All of them are losing eyesight. They're all losing eyesight. They were relocated, like, right now you see Afghan rebels, some of the Afghan members are going to America, right? How they helped. And so same way, some of these Cambodian women got an opportunity to go and settle somewhere else. And so where they're living, but they all started losing eyesight and said, why are they losing eyesight? And the doctors test, everything is good. Their physical parameters is good. Eye inside the retina and this and that, everything is good. But they're losing eyesight. They're saying, I can't see. What's happening later, they have studied and realized is that they permanently close their future. Because they have gone through so much of sadness in front of their eyes, in those moments of experience when they've gone through, they close permanently for the future. They didn't want to think of a future at all for them. It was so bad when they've gone through an experience. But when you believe like that something is really bad, so I don't want to see it anymore, or that future, when you think that way, then it starts affecting on the eyesight. So many people, when the eyesight is deteriorating quite a bit, could go back and check, was there a belief like that I'm setting in? Because during the childhood, if I had seen some wrong things, whether it's parents struggling, fighting with each other, or some deep things happen at home, because of which you felt, no, I can't have this kind of future. When you believe strongly like that, and then constantly that keeps sending in, I say it drops for many people, early age especially. But so these young women are losing their eyesight. Everything is fine, but their thoughts, that they believe that future is not going to be good for them, is sufficient for them to slowly bring their eyesight down. They have been rehabilitated, they've been working on them to see how they can back. But the point is, it works both ways. Our belief works both ways is what I wanted to tell. The question is what kind of beliefs we have is all we have to understand this, friends. Devotees of masters, a lot of devotees of masters is when we say how they heal. A master will just touch and then you feel like everything is healed. It's because of an immense amount of faith, belief that is there, and as a result, body is responding to it because when we immensely believe. So let's see this experiment by this chick. The chicks are there. And here, it's a guy called Rene Poe who did this experiment with robots. So this is a random generator, a random number generator. So on the right side at the top, you see they've taken newborn chicks, right? Newborn, just newborn. And there is a small mechanical robot. That small mechanical robot, which is plotting, they've taken a table, think of a table. On the table, they put this small robot, which has got a pen. And then it plots. It is controlled through computer. A random number generator means what? Randomly, the random number generator is organized in a way, they put the robot in the center, and random number, see what is random number? Randomly it gives, right? So if you take 100, and the divider, every time 0 to 50 comes, the robot will go on the left side and then plot. Every time 50 to 100 comes, it will go to the right side and plot. Like that, that's all. So 0 to 50, 10, it'll go 1 point, 20 will go another point, 30 will go another point, 50. So they mapped it. So 0 to 50, all points are mapped on the left side. 50 to 100, all points are mapped on the right side. So random number generated means random. So random means percentage of probabilities of 50-50. 50 per times, if I do 100 times the chance, like a head and toss, right? And if I keep doing it, chances are 50-50, no? There are two. So same way random number generator, 50-50. If you see here, when there are no chicks, the random number generator roughly plotted both sides equally, isn't it? If you draw a middle vertical line, this side equal, that side equal number of times it happened. So for an hour of plotting, it is equal on both sides. So it is randomly plotted everywhere. But what happened when they put the chicks close to, this is what happened when they put the chicks. So what did they do next as an experiment? They put all those new chicks, about 20 of them, on the right side of this table. So this is a table. First, random number generator, so it is plotting randomly, uniformly. Second, they put the chicks here. And apparently, the newborn chicks, they take anything that moves as their mother. Because they don't see newborn chicks. Anything that moves, movement is there, slightest movement is there, is considered its mother, that's all. And so what is moving here is this arm, that robotic, the small arm is moving. So they thought that is its mother. And the chicks, what do they want to do? Any newborn, they have this deep connection with affection. So they want to be close to the mother. That's it. So they want to be close to the mother. And so by default, they are expecting that, yes, that's my mother. So I'm being there, I'm being with it, I'm being with it. And so as a result, an hour later, this is what you see exactly. That plot's random number generator is continuously where it is to the chick side because they are pulling it always towards it. Understand it, right? You're with me on this? You follow me on this? So 15 chicks are able to pull a robot towards them. What we think it is not possible, it's not practical. How is it? It's a machine. Machine will do on its own. How can something chick? Now we're talking of 15 small, tiny chicks, dear friends. So if chicks can do it, do you think we can do it? Whatever that we want to create. What we think is not possible, what we think is science, what we think is somebody else is doing it. If chicks can pull a robot down, a robot towards them, friends, we can do it too. Many things that are happening in our life, miracles. Two small youngsters with a farmer community, with a farmer father, and then the youngsters go into a large farm. Their father's leg gets stuck under a tractor. And this is a large farm, remote, the phones don't work. So the father's leg got stuck under the wheel of a tractor. So the father is not able to come. The two young girls were there. So what to do? Phone is not working. Father is stuck there. So the girls said, I have to somehow save my dad. And then they would actually then lift up the tractor wheel. Can you imagine this? Because they have so much of deep affinity to the dad that they want to somehow save the dad. So they said the only thing we have is to do this, and then they believed in themselves, they lifted it up, and then the father could relieve his leg out of it and then could save. So that is the power of what we can, if we believe in it, we can make things happen. If we believe in something, we can make things happen. The belief has to be unquestionable, without a doubt, without hesitation. If we can believe like that, then we can make things happen that anything we want. Meditation is making us single point minded. It makes us, our vision, our concentration, like a laser beam, laser focus. You know what is a laser beam, right? A laser beam, you take a pointer, in offices they do, is tiny pointer. It is not even, 1/20th of a volt power it takes, and that pointer can go 150 meters because laser beam is a straight beam of light. Laser beam is a straight beam of light. A 60 watt bulb you take, like this is about 60 watts it will be. Now this is what? It has got so much of light generated. Diffused light, so light is all spread out, cancelling each other. But a 60 watt laser beam you take, and the 60 watt laser beam, when you point it, it will cut steel. A 60 watt light beam, if it is a straight line and the beams are going straight, it can cut steel. That is the power it has. So we also become single point minded, and we have so much power to actually make anything happen. If a laser beam can cut steel, and our thoughts gain so much coherency, so much single pointedness with regular meditation, that we can also make things happen. That's what this is all showing you, friends. The whole basis of how I was able to manifest an outcome for my business is that the focus with which we are stay with what we want. That's it. We have to detach from the past experience, because the past is pulling us constantly into something else. We all take a lot of goals. New Year comes, a resolution. Birthday comes, a resolution. Yes or no? How many people take resolutions every time? And what happens with the resolution at the end of the week? We've forgotten, right? A lot of New Year resolutions I've forgotten. Why? Why do you forget? It's because we get distracted through our past. 95% our subconscious mind is operating for us, and the subconscious mind is constantly telling us this is past experience, it keeps pulling us, so we cannot have focus on it. Unfortunately, with children, we keep telling them focus, 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 but we don't know how to focus. We don't even tell them how to focus. We ask them and then penalize them if they don't focus. How? We are distracted, they're also distracted 95% of the time. Meditation is helping us detach from it, dear friends, and then we learn the principles to make us single point minded, and so then we can definitely burn anything or create anything that we want.